Hello, my fellow black people watching me. I'm back again on live to discuss some issues that are mind-blowing if you pay attention to what I'm talking about. We have several things that are bothering us on our schedule every day. Things that maybe they are instigated by pressure in working environment or domestic matters or political or economic issues. We have a mechanism as human beings to digest and to suppress and to try to avoid such stressful situations. Now, I want to make this statement clear. It's very unworthy to sit down and watch as things break down. Mentally, physically, socially, and emotionally, and financially, and environmentally. Being in the West and having lived in West for many years and making that abrupt decision to relocate to Africa was not an easy decision that you can just make once and move the next day. It's a transition. Environment that is so stressful, like the way we have been stressed in America and West, it doesn't guarantee us a thriving opportunity for us to discover ourselves, who we are and what we are supposed to do or where we can be. So it's worthy to avoid having this thing we call settlement mentalities for centuries, whereby since you were born, you go to the academic system, eventually you go to the working environment and then retirement environment, all inclusive in one particular geographical position or location. You need to diversify your mind and then you make a vacation. I'm not limiting this to only surrounding yourself with the Western culture and Western mediocrity. You can shift your interest and say, I want to go to Africa and pay a visit to Africa and see what it has to offer me. It's a great continent full of hospitality and resources. If embraced effectively, it can generate the results that are needed. We have built America and other parts of the world with our resources, with our minerals, with our political goodwills and all those things. Why not Africa? To your surprise, you are seated somewhere there in California, in Ohio, or in North Carolina, or in Philadelphia, or in the Western Virgins, or in Florida, Miami, whenever you are. But that's a short-time vacation to spend time with yourself and you discover yourself. But there is what you call investment time in an environment that is far different from what you're used to or accustomed to. This can happen only if you make that abrupt decision and ask yourself so many questions. Where do I work? Why do I have to be born here, be raised here, and retire here and die here? Apart from being a slave to work for somebody, you can also create opportunities for yourself, and the system works for you and serves you, and you live a rich legacy when the time comes for you to departure. That cannot be achieved by settlement mentality. You need to get out of that box where you have enslaved yourself in the closet, jump over and stretch out to other parts of the world and see what's going on. We can achieve this if we work as a cooperative team in one way or the other. We accommodate one another's interest in many ways. However, I don't necessarily mean you quit what you're doing and rush to investments and running to Africa to look for opportunities which are there. I'm saying you be systematic in planning, and sometimes you throw yourself out of comfort proportion zones. Diversify your mind, creativity, and innovate, and rediscover yourself in another dimension as a businessman, not an employee. Because the person you work for is an entrepreneur. Right? You can be. Nothing special about him. Even though the color of the skin matters a lot in the West, but you can also change and transform yourself and be somebody you want to be within no time. change the consumerism mentality. I mean consumerism mentality and a materialistic worldly environment whereby everything surrounding you is materialized. In a way, consumerism has overwhelmed your thinking and your perception and your way of doing things to an extent you cannot think concretely and directly towards what you're supposed to do as an independent thinker. From work environments to home environment, and then from there is a marketing environment or marketed environment that has already been created for you. In a way, it's going to affect you completely. By the time you become someone who is a pensioner or in that context, you have nothing to be proud of. Wealth is not about a house you are paying, the mortgage you're paying, or some insurance policies you're putting in place, as we have been taught as it is as a commercial asset gaining interest or growing in wealth periodically. That's what it is. I urge you to have a look at some of my videos I'm making concerning investment in Africa and how we should go about it. Because unless you make that trip to go to Africa, have a look and explore the area of interest where you think you want to venture into and manipulate that environment socially. And then you come with a conclusive idea or ideology. Fundamentally, this is where I'm going to start. These are my basic principles. Get out of the comfort zone. Stop seeking a job in a white man's world. Pack your bags and repatriate. Meet people here who can help you grow, discover. But I don't mean necessarily that here is easy. That's not the case. It's not easy. It's not as you think, but it is very easy if you are systematic. Approaching new environment requires a lot of preparation spiritually, physically, and financially. Many of us are not in that position because there's a time you need to look for that money, there's a time you need to look for these opportunities, and there's a time you need to integrate everything, and there's a time you need to prepare. Consumer materialism has taken away everything a black man has, particularly in the West. I mean consumerism. It's the strategy created to push everything new into the market at an appropriate time with an agenda of intoxicating you as a consumer and believing you also need something new this season. Don't tell me you need another house for holiday. You need another house as a real estate developer to rent it out for people to bring money to you. But not as a home you go for holiday and that's it. That's not wealth. The moment you're not into that house, it is idle and you are paying rates and all those things to maintain it. Where is this money coming from? It is coming from the paycheck, the pay slip you have. You have to allocate a certain amount of money to pay for the electricity you don't consume, for compound you never used to, for water you never consumed, for caretaker whom is taking care of the house you never lived in, only occasionally. Why should that be? You can convert that house into a B&B and make it, another extra income arena. I'm trying to drive this point to you in a way that you will understand the importance of being productive. Settlement mentality is a danger zone, and it's something we should fight under all costs as black people. Let's retaliate to what they did to us and planting colonial mentality to us and pushing consumerism to us by ideologically unleashing the dragon of repatriating and going back to where we came from. That's the only way we can be able to move forward and be independent freely. I made this video with a lot of anger and frustrations because some of you are asking unnecessary questions. How can we repatriate to Africa without direction or policy in place? People are on the ground and these people will help you understand what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to implement it. What you need to do is to submit yourself and make yourself freely available online and connect the right people and gather primary information concerning where you want to go. It is not logic science, it is not rocket science either. It is not algorithm, it's not algebra. This is something very easy and comprehensive. It is something that you can do and effectively apply it in practical way. Think about it. This is Black Man Explore. African opportunities are limitless. There are plenty. We will discuss on how to approach a business that is falling apart because of lack of capital liquidity in Africa, and how to become partnership with that particular kind of a person who has interest in that business or who has been learning that business. And you buy him out under collateral agreement through the power of attorney, or you form an equity partnership, and the business continue to generate more life stream towards the GDP, and you will be a happy person. These are the things I want to highlight about, and I want people to have clarity on in order for them to understand what they are supposed to do, because many have capital in the West, but they don't know how to venture it in Africa, where there are so many opportunities and very minimized red tapes to run the business. Thank you for watching Black Man Explore. Hit the button below, subscribe, and give the thumbs up. This is Black Man. Welcome to Africa.